ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान् वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमा ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत सरस्वतीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we'll welcome all of you again to this Saturday presentation on Bhagavad Gita. Last week we discussed chapter 12, which is related to the devotional service to the Lord. So there were three acronyms here: G for Godhead, O for options for Bhakti Yoga, and then devotee's disposition. What are the qualities of a devotee? So following this, there is a 13th chapter, which is called the nature, enjoyer and consciousness. And this section is mostly called the Jnana Yoga section of the Bhagavad Gita. The first 6 chapters are the Karma Yoga, middle 6 are the Bhakti Yoga, and then last are the Jnana Yoga section. So in this section, basically we have this acronym WISEST. So let's see one by one what all are these. So first is the wise questions. So as we know, all of us, we have so many questions in our life, and our scriptures, the Vedanta Sutra, describe that the purpose of life is to ask relevant question. Athato Brahma Jigyasa, that who am I, why am I here, what is this material world, who is God, does God exist? So all these questions are actually the beginning of self-realization. So the Vedanta Sutra talk about these, and as a human being, it is our duty to actually ask these questions. So let's see what questions Arjuna is asking to Krishna. But before this, we'll just see this slide. It encapsulates what I just told. So 1 to 6 chapter is how to achieve bhakti through one's work, through Karma Yoga. Then 13 to 18 is how to achieve bhakti through knowledge or Jnana Yoga. So everywhere, whether you are doing karma, you are doing jnana, you can mix devotion to Krishna everywhere, Then it becomes Bhakti Yoga. And then 7 to 12 is specific to Bhakti Yoga. So if jnana is utilized to attain devotion, it becomes part of bhakti. And if karma is utilized to attain devotion, it also becomes bhakti. So we are in the last section, which is 13 to 18 chapter. Which chapter is this? 13th chapter. Just making sure everybody is awake. Thank you. And I can ask some questions also in between. Huh? Arjuna's 6 questions. So Arjuna asked these 6 questions to Krishna in this section. What are these 6 questions? He asked, what is Prakriti? Prakriti means this material nature, what we are seeing around. Second question is Purusha, who is the enjoyer of matter? Kshetra, field in which one can act within the material world. Kshetragya, the knower of the field. Jnanam, Jnanam we all know, knowledge. Geyam, what is the object? What is the purpose of knowledge? So these are the 6 questions that Arjuna asks in the first verse of this chapter. So now Krishna will answer these 6 questions stepwise in this chapter. And then also he mentions about the 20 qualities that one should have in order to understand what knowledge is. So these are the basically 2 high-level, I would say, subdivisions of this chapter. So first subdivision is Krishna answering these 6 questions, and second is what are the qualities that one should develop, which is a part of actually Jnanam, in order to understand the soul and the super soul, the Paramatma. So nowadays, we see that there are a lot of people who are not asking these questions. They are only, asking questions relevant to sense gratification or enjoyment. But many are not asking about the purpose of life. Why are we here? So the most important thing in that is having the right association so that we can get inspired to ask those questions. That's why we have this Saturday program, so that we can associate, and understand and discuss all these topics. So Arjuna's 6 questions can be divided into these 3 parts. And this chapter is entitled Nature, Enjoyer and Consciousness. What is nature? It is the Prakriti and the Kshetra. Enjoyer is Purusha, Kshetra. Consciousness is Jnana and Gyeya. So if you see in this image, this person is, he wants the entire world to be controlled by him. Second person is obviously only thinking about money, and then they have forgotten the last part, which is Krishna. So that is not there. So let's see what Krishna answers in verse 2 to 7, Kshetra and Kshetragya. What is Kshetra? Kshetra is the field of activity, which is the body. For example, if you take a child to a park, they are playing in that park. That is the field of activity. There is a fence, they are working in that. Or a barber, whole life he is cutting the hair. So that is his area of work, expertise. So similarly, for the soul, this body is like the field of activity. Through this body, it is doing some activity. So therefore, Kshetra is this body on which the soul is actually operating. What is Kshetragya? Knower of the field. Who is the knower of the field? Who knows the body? That is the soul. The soul within, the consciousness, the living force. Na jayate mriteva kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuya ajo nityam sashvato ayam purane nahanyate hanyamane sharire. So the soul is eternal. It is never born and never it dies. So that is the knower of the field. And there is one more Kshetragya within us, that is called the super soul, the Paramatma, within everybody's heart. So Krishna actually comes with all of us in form of Paramatma. He loves us so much that he never leaves us alone. So in IT industry we use agents. Whenever there is a software, we install agent in all the host. It runs and it scans. It's everywhere. So it's something concept is similar to that. It's an agent which is running in whether it's a cat or dog or elephant or a human being or a dinosaur. That agent, that presence of super soul is there. That Paramatma is there. So if you see on the top left, there are 2 birds. Basically, one bird is the soul, other bird is the super soul. The super soul is witnessing what the soul is doing. What is the soul desiring? It is a witness to it. So it is also summarized in the Vedanta Sutra. And the Kshetra, the body consists of what? The body consists of gross and subtle elements. What are the gross elements within our body? We have eyes, we have nose, we have, a tongue to taste, ears, and then we have touch. And then subtle elements are the mind, intelligence, and ego. And there are different senses. There are knowledge acquiring senses and there are working senses. Knowledge acquiring senses are the ones through which we acquire knowledge. Like by seeing we are acquiring knowledge, by tasting, hearing, smelling, touching. And what are working senses? There are 5 working senses. Our hands, we work something, right? Once we get knowledge, we do something. Our hands, our legs, our speech, through our speech we act, right? anus, rectum. These are the 5 working senses. 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Eyes, nose, all those things. And then we have 3 subtle senses. And then we have 5 Pancha Mahabhuta, earth, water, fire, air, ether. Those are also in the body. So all of these actually constitute the Kshetra or the body, the field of activity. So, and transformation of this field causes happiness and distress. So within this body we have all these senses, and when these are transformed, the way we interpret things, the way we see things, the way we deal with things, the way we associate with different things, that brings happiness and distress within our life, desire, hatred and all those things. It's all the transformation of the field of the Kshetra. So Krishna answers, Kshetra is the body, Kshetragya is what? There are 2 Kshetragyas. 2A is soul and 2B is, Kshetragya is, soul, and one more Kshetragya is there. What is there? Super soul of Krishna, right? So in 3A you can see Kshetragya is Krishna also. So, some of the Mayavadi philosophers, the Mayavadi philosophy says, no, there is just one, God within us. But in this verse, there is a verse, I'll show it later, it says, Cha. There is also, suppose, you go to a hotel and you say, I am also staying in that room. Cha means in Sanskrit also. I am also staying in that. Means you are also there. Means the soul is there and also there is super soul. But if you say, I am in room 202, then it means only you are there. But if you say, I am also in 202, then it means there is soul and super soul also. So Mayavadi philosophy says, okay, there is just Krishna, I am God, and only God is within me. But Krishna here in Bhagavad Gita is saying, no, there is soul and super soul also. The soul also has individual free will. Independence is there. Some little bit of independence is there. And then super soul is also there. So that will be clarified in the future verses. And then Jnanam. What is Jnanam? This is the third one question which Arjuna asks. What is Jnanam? Jnanam is perfect knowledge. And what is the knowledge? Knowledge of the material body and its knowers. And knowers are the soul and the super soul, right? Kshetra jnanam cha api mam. So Kshetra jnanam cha api mam vidhi. Sarva kshetreshu bharata. Kshetra kshetrajnyor jnanam. Yat tach jnanam matam mama. So there are different kind of consciousness. Now we are also talking about consciousness that we have, So one consciousness is Annamai, like a child is a baby, what they are crying for? Mama, mama, I just want food, right? So that is the Annamai consciousness. Food is the supreme. That is very gross, like at the bodily level. Pranamai, they seek to preserve his life. Suppose there is a deer in the forest, and the lion, tiger is coming to kill it. What will the deer do? It wants to protect its prana. So that is Pranamaya consciousness. Then higher level, if you see on the end there is gross, subtle, it's increasing, the consciousness is increasing. Then Jnanamaya is one appreciates the subtle mind, intelligence, emotions, like all the kids are doing music, right? So that's at the higher level consciousness, because they are dealing with the mind, intelligence. So that's Jnanamaya consciousness. So that is one next level of consciousness. So the purpose of human life is to increase our consciousness to the highest level, whatever it can be. Vijnanamaya. Soul or Brahman is the ultimate object. That is Vijnanamaya, where they are talking about the soul. Anandamaya is about the ultimate pleasure. Para Brahman. We are talking about Supreme Self and enters into the blissful relationship with the Supreme Lord. When we read in Srimad Bhagavatam about Krishna in the spiritual world, he's playing with his cowherd friends and they are just following the shadow of the birds which are flying in the sky. They are looking in the pond and they are criticizing the pond, looking at their faces. They are making the sound of a frog. Can anyone make a sound of a frog? Yes. Yeah, they are making the sound of a frog, and there are so many peacocks. The cowherd boys are playing together and they are making the sound of a peacock. Can anyone make the sound of peacock? Okay. So all of these cowherd boys with Krishna, they are enjoying in the spiritual world. There is a lot of relationship between Krishna and all the cowherd boys. The mothers of all the cowherd boys send them tiffin boxes and they are eating and they are, the jhuta they are feeding to Krishna. You also taste. It's so nice. My mother sent it to you. Imagine if we taste something and then offer in the altar. That would be an offense. We cannot do that. But this is a special relationship between Krishna and his devotees because they are at the ultimate level of love and devotion to Krishna. We can just, respect that and pray and learn from that. It's the very highest level of relationship, Anandamaya. So these are the different level of consciousness that one has. And then we already discussed this. There are the compositions of the body, 24 elements of the body. So what are the 24 elements? 5 great elements are earth, air, water, fire, ether. 5 knowledge acquiring senses we discussed: eyes, ear, nose, tongue and skin. Working senses are what? Voice, legs. Mukunda, can you read the 5 working senses? Get the mic and read. Go and get the mic, Mukunda. 5 working senses are voice, legs, hand, anus and genitals. 5 sense objects are smell, taste, form, touch and sound. And these are very scientific actually. These are tightly integrated. Just from earth, air, water, fire, ether, within the earth, all these things manifest. It's very, very scientific. I don't have time to go in detail, but it's very scientific and there is a whole hierarchy how it develops. From fire, the sight develops, How it develops is a lot of details is there. And then mind, which is the 11th sense, it's a subtle sense. Intelligence, false ego and pradhana. Pradhana is the matter. So the aggregate of these 24 elements is called the field of activity, or which is a part of the body, right? And by analytical study of these 24 elements, one can understand the field of activity. So now the body goes through changes. So if you can see in this image, this person is mad, this lady is also, making some nice faces, and they're 2 best friends. Iksha dvesha sukham dukkham sangatas chetana dhriti etat kshetram samasena sa vikarma udharat. Sa vikarma means it is transformed. In the body, all these different senses are there. Through this, what is happening? The body undergoes, transforms. Yad vikari udharata. And there is birth, growth, maintenance, byproducts and death, obviously, in this body. That is the transformation of this body that is happening. So next is I. What was W? Does anyone remember? Wise questions. There are 6 questions that were asked by Arjuna to Krishna. Now, I is for items of knowledge. So what are these items of knowledge? Means jnana. Knowledge means jnana, right? So what is jnana, Arjuna asking to Krishna? What is jnana and what is game? Why should I get jnana? What is the purpose of acquiring knowledge? So jnana is to understand soul and super soul and also the body. And the purpose of knowledge is to basically understand the soul and the super soul. So these are the different verses that are there, 14, 15, relevant to this topic. And then what are the 20 elements of knowledge? What is knowledge? And that knowledge through which you can understand the soul and super soul. So this is, you can chant with me if you can see. Amanitvam madambhitvam ahimsa shantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham स्थैर्यम आत्मा विनिग्रह इंद्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम अनाहंकार एव च जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुख दोषानुदर्शनम आसक्तिर अनाभ्यस्वंग पुत्र दाराग्रहादिषु नित्यं च सोम चित्तत्वम इष्टानि तोपत्तिषु मयि च अन्य योगेन भक्तिर अव्याभिचारेण. So it talks about among all these qualities, one of the important qualities, Mai cha ananya yogena bhaktir avyabhicharana. Devotion to me is one of the most important qualities. If we have, we can actually understand Krishna. We can understand the soul and the super soul. So there are a lot of details given in the purport for this. Amanitvam doesn't expect any respect for oneself. Adhambhatvam, there is no pride. So humility, pridelessness, ahimsa, non-violence, shantir, peacefulness, arjavam, non-enviousness, tolerance, acharya, pasanam, shaucham. So if you see in the image, there's a nice devotee who's worshipping Shri Radha Krishna, and there's devotees taking instruction from Guru, like Srila Prabhupada is the Guru. So he's taking instruction, acharya, What is that? Acharyo Pasanam Saucham. So he's taking instruction from Acharya. So that is one of the very important qualities. S, soul and super soul. So Geyam, so after acquiring all this knowledge, what will we do? We will be able to understand the soul and super soul. Right? Having taught the process for attaining knowledge, now Krishna has told that these are the qualities you should develop. Now he is teaching what is to be known by those means. Once we have those qualities, what is to be mean? The real object of knowledge, Geyam, are Jivatma, individual soul, Paramatma, the super soul, who is expansion and representation of Krishna. So once we have that knowledge, then what happens is, the object of that knowledge or purpose is to understand soul, super soul. That is the whole purpose. So by knowing the knowable, Gyayam, you will attain liberation. Amritam Ashnute. Mukuda, did you get the mic? Can you read it? Brahman, the spirit soul, Jiva, is beginningless, subordinate to me. Anadi Mat Param Brahma. So by knowing the knowable, you will attain liberation, and Brahman, the spirit soul, Jiva, is beginningless, subordinate to me. So Krishna is saying that I am superior to the spirit soul. And the qualities of super soul. So here you see the image of the super soul. It is given, it's like a four-handed, Narayan, Krishna is Krishna himself. All pervading, transcendental, all reconciling, undivided, maintainer and destroyer. And Gyayam is the super soul. He is situated in everybody's heart. Jnanam Gyayam Jnana Gamyam Hridi Sarvasya Vishisthitam. He is situated in everybody's heart. It said the super soul is in our heart. So we have two souls. One is our soul and one is the super soul. We just don't have one soul. We have two of them. He is the enjoyer. Who is the enjoyer of everything? Bhokta Ram Yagya Tapsam Sarva Loko Maheshwaram Surdam Sarva Bhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Richari. Everybody is thinking, I am the enjoyer. I want to control everything. But ultimately, Krishna is the ultimate Purusha. He is the enjoyer. Right? So if you see in this image, there is one boy and girl. They are trying to enjoy. But ultimately, in that next image, he's getting frustrated here. And there is a lot of entanglement happening because of the enjoying propensity, because the Purusha so Purusha is capital Purusha, P Purusha is this Krishna, and small p Purusha is the soul. The soul wants to enjoy. It wants to become Krishna. It wants to become the enjoyer. And it identifies with this body, and therefore it goes through happiness and distress. It doesn't identify itself with the soul. And the Purusha desires to enjoy, and that is why it gets entangled in this material world or the Prakriti, material nature. The actual position of our soul, of our, is to serve Krishna. Jivera Surup Hoy, Krishnera Nitya Das. That is our actual position. But if we deviate from that position, then we get frustrated. Just like a finger wants to taste a gulab jamun, it cannot taste. It has to go through the mouth, through the stomach, and stomach digests it, and the blood goes through the entire body, and all the parts of the body is happy. Right? So that is what it is. Now Krishna explains about Prakriti, Purusha and their union. So Krishna has described about Paramatma as the knower of the field. Now he will describe how the Jiva, who is also the knower of field, comes in contact with Maya. So basically it's like when the soul comes to this material world, it's like a pure drop of water. Just like a dirty water is there, you put it through a filtration process, it gets cleaned. You put it through gravel, carbon, sand and all those things, right? So similarly, the soul is actually pure, but it becomes impure in contact with these different modes of material nature, goodness, passion, ignorance and bad association. It becomes dirty. So we'll discuss that. So here it is mentioned that Jiva's association with modes and its transmigration. Purusha Prakriti Stohi Bhungte Prakriti Jan Gunan Karanam Gunasangosya Sad Ashad Yoni Janmasha. Because of its association with different gunas, what happens? It goes through different species of life. Can anyone tell how many species of life are there? I'll give a hint, 8 million. And then how many thousand? Yes, Shreyan, 8,400,000 species of life are there, right? So based on our desire, the different species of life or different body form is given to us, right? So we may be born as a reptile, as an animal, as a bird, or as a human being, or as a demigod. Everything is based on our association and desire at the time of death. Srila Prabhupada says, when you take a picture, what happens at that time? If you are fighting, that emotion will come. If you are smiling, your emotion will come. It's got captured, right? Similarly, at the time of death, what happens? Our desires get captured. What is our desire? What we want to do actually? What is the strongest emotion? And based on that desire, the material nature arranges and puts our soul into that next body based on our desire. So that's why it is important that we always remember Krishna, so that at the time of death we can remember Krishna. So there are two types of Purusha. We saw soul and super soul. The super soul is never entangled like ordinary Purusha. Krishna doesn't get affected. People think that, oh, Krishna is just an ordinary human being. What is the time? Can anyone tell the time? Okay, we'll do fast. So Krishna is not like us, ordinary person. Krishna is beyond us. People say, oh, Krishna also somebody hit arrow and Krishna also died. No, sir. In the Srimad Bhagavatam it is clearly explained. When that hunter Jara shot an arrow on Krishna's feet, what happened? It just went through. It's not like our leg. It went through, past it. And when Jara came to Krishna, if the arrow was still stuck there in the leg, he would have removed it, but he didn't do that. Because the arrow got stuck at his leg, because his body is not like our body. He has a transcendental body. And because he wanted to leave this earth, he just left this earth in his own body. We don't have to burn his body or put into a cremator and electric button you have to press. It's not like that. So Krishna has a transcendental body. And Krishna can lift Govardhan on which finger? Pinky finger. Left pinky finger, right? On the nail of the left pinky finger, Krishna can lift. How many of us can lift a table for so long? We cannot. So that is why Krishna is not like ordinary Purusha. He is not entangled. And people say, oh, there is no God anywhere. People say God is okay. God is everywhere. Then they say, why do you go to temple? God is everywhere. Then we say, okay, God is everywhere. Then God is in the temple also. Then you come to the temple. So one can achieve this understanding through various types of bhakti yoga, which is easiest and best. Why it is not changing? Okay. So one Purusha is controlled by the nature and another is the controller of nature. So there are two Purusha. Can anyone answer what are the two Purushas? One is our soul, that is the Purusha. Other Purusha is Krishna. Right? Purusha means the enjoyer basically. Super soul is the real enjoyer. Upadrishta anumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwara parmatmeti chapiyukto dehesmin purusha para. Upadrishta anumanta. Upadrishta means he is the director. Anumanta means he is the sanctioner of everything. Parmatmeti. And what is the name of that Purusha? It's called Paramatma within our heart. That's the Paramatma. So once we acquire this knowledge, what happens? One who knows Purusha, Prakriti and Gunas attain liberation. So after acquiring this knowledge, we can get liberated. Nasa bhuyo bijayate. Krishna will talk about the means by which we can come out of the entanglement of matter. So there are other methods described like Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga also. But it is described that Bhakti Yoga is the most easiest and the best suited process because Krishna recommends this process by hearing, Ashnute, by hearing. So now, till now, Krishna has answered all these 6 questions. Krishna has answered what is Kshetra, the body. What is Kshetragya? Who is the knower of the body? Yeah, soul, super soul. Kshetra, Kshetragya. He also answers who's Purusha. And then also answers what is Jnanam, what is Geyam. So all 6 things are answered. So now he will integrate and expand on all the topics and explain the vision of one who can understand them from proper perspective. Now he will expand and explain all of them. So one who has this knowledge, what does he see? What is his vision? So this is a very nice slide. Next slide. So he's now a seeker to seer. Now all your questions are answered because you are a seeker. You wanted to get the answers. Now you are a seer. Now you are a sage. Now how do you behave is like this. What can you see in the picture? Yes, Mukunda, can you tell? Or Siddhant? So there is a sage who is looking at elephant, cow, dog, everyone he's looking at, and what is he looking? He's looking at the Paramatma within them. He's looking everybody equally, with love, with compassion. He's not saying, oh, he's American, he's Indian, he's black, he's white, he's from North India, or he doesn't know this language. So the realized person can distinguish spirit and matter in all circumstances. He sees indestructible super soul always accompanying indestructible living entities. Thus seeing super soul everywhere, he acts in proper knowledge and never degrades himself by pursuing selfish desires of the mind. Right? So that is the quality of a seer. That is the true learned person. And all entities are combination of Purusha and Prakriti. So Purusha is obviously the soul, super soul. So like our body, it has soul and it has material nature also, body also, Prakriti, right? So when we talk of Prakriti, it is basically the body, the modes of material nature and all those things come under Prakriti. And the true seer's vision of Paramatma is what? Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishthanam parameshwaram. The true seer vision of Paramatma, he sees samam sarveshu, he sees everybody samam sarveshu bhute, equally, all the living entities. Bhuteshu is living entities, he's equally. And what happens if one has this vision? There is no degradation. Na hinasti atma natmanam tato yati param gatim. He attains the highest liberation. He gets the param gatim. That is the thing. And then transcendental. Last is the transcendental. Okay, what was S? Last S. Can anyone tell? Yes. Transcendental. So what happens to this person who has acquired this knowledge? He sees that ultimately neither he nor others are acting. Only the body acts in this world, but the living entity is distinct from the field of activity, never mixing with the body. So he sees that I am not this body, I am this spirit soul. That's what he sees. And he sees the 3 ladies, they are like a puppet. These 2 boys are entangled in the puppet. Now, these are the 3 modes of material nature. Goodness, passion and ignorance, which are controlling the person. So they understand that we are not this body, we are the soul. Because ultimately, the body has some lifetime, it will die. When soul will continue, This just one lifetime is like a dot. If you make a line, how many dots does a line has? Lot of dots. So this lifetime is maybe just a dot. Next lifetime is another dot. Now dot. Eternal. The soul is eternal. It never dies. It never takes birth. Right? So that is the quality of the soul. So we should be very happy that we are the eternal soul. And the constitution of the soul is to be always happy, full of knowledge and blissful. Sat Chit Ananda. Full of knowledge. Eternal. Sat means eternal. Chit means full of knowledge. And Ananda means full of bliss, happiness. And that is the whole purpose of the scriptures. The scriptures tell the purpose of human life is Sarve Sukhenu Bhavantu. Let everybody be happy. The purpose of life is to be happy. And therefore, Krishna is giving us this process so that all of us can be happy. When we connect to Krishna, when we connect to ourselves, only then we can be truly happy. Because we are not this body is temporary, but we are the soul. So when we connect to the soul, we can derive that happiness. Because right now we are just looking for some things, happiness in some temporary things, or, which can only satisfy our body or our mind or our senses, but it cannot touch our soul. Right? So, the soul is the non-doer and is not entangled. Na karoti na lipyate. The soul doesn't get entangled. And soul doesn't mix with matter. The soul illuminates the entire body by consciousness. Just like a sun, it is illuminating the entire planet, right? So similarly, the soul charges up the whole body. It activates the body, it gives consciousness to the body. If somebody dies, there is no soul, then they cannot speak, they cannot do anything. So it's a very nice example. The soul illuminates the entire body by consciousness. And there are so many scientific researches, reincarnation by Dr. Ian Stevenson from University of West Virginia, Michael Sebaum from Emory University. He worked in the emergency department at Emory. So many emergency cases came to him. You know, somebody hit their head or the car in the tree, and they are coming there and they talk about near-death experiences. How they witness, these souls can witness they are being operated. You know, how they are out-of-body experiences, near-death experiences, reincarnation. So many cases are there. So that actually tells that yes, within the body there is some living force, some consciousness which is actually operating our body. And then the vision of knowledge, jnana chakshu. So once we get this knowledge, chetra chetra gyor evam antaram jnana chakshusha bhuta prakriti moksham cha ye vidur yanti te param. So once we acquire this knowledge, what happens? We get free, we get liberated, you know. And when we apply this knowledge, when we apply these qualities, they are very much favorable for leading our happy and enjoyable life. So simple living and high thinking. So Srila Prabhupada has given a lot of stress on simple living and high thinking, and that is the reason there are so many farm communities that he developed. Right, so in New Vrindavan there is farm community, and outside if you see in the temple we have such a nice garden. So just to give simple living, high thinking, grow your own food, have a simple life, have a healthy body, and focus your mind on Krishna, decorating Krishna, kirtan like kids did all the kirtan, chanting about Krishna, dancing, singing, eating prasadam. So such a nice and simple process. And engaging our body, mind towards Krishna, so that will ultimately make us peaceful and happy. So that will satisfy our life. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If anyone has any comments or questions, otherwise we can do one round of chanting. So Prabhu, can we get the beads? Light also little up you can do. So now we'll do one round of mantra meditation. So Krishna says in this chapter, Bhakti Yoga, there are so many different processes, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga is a process where we meditate on the names of Krishna here. And those who don't know, we'll chant that mantra that is written there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, what is the meaning of Hari? Anyone knows Hari? Who takes away? So, Krishna is Hari, and Hare is one who also conquers Hari. That is Hare, that is Srimati Radharani with her love. She conquers Krishna. So, her name is Hare. She is Sita, she is Radha. And Krishna is Krishna, Ram is Lord Ram, Balaram, or Ram also stands for Ramante. Please, my dear Lord, I have been engaged in so many different people's work and job. I'm trying to serve them, but I'm not getting happiness. So now let me engage in your service now. That is the meaning of Ramante. So in that spirit, let us chant maybe 10 minutes or less. So Prabhu is going to give the beads. Okay, we can start without beads. So before the mantra, we take blessings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu to forgive in case there are any offenses in the chanting of the holy names. So we chant this Panchatattva mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,